high-fiber diet is the diet that I always advocate for. So it's a whole food plant-based diet. So why? It's because a high-fiber diet lowers the risk of developing cancer in the first place. No? So something that can prevent cancer is also something that you can use to kill cancer.
Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Simply Healed. And today's topic, Doc, is so exciting. But first, let us welcome Doc Jansen to the program. Welcome, Doc.
Hello, Sean. Hello, everyone. Happy New Year to everyone. So, for every new beginning, this is one of the reasons why I chose this topic for
because it's a new year.
It's a new year.
And we're going to talk about new therapies for cancer.
New concepts in therapies
like
for cancers and what dietary patterns that you can undergo to make these things more effective. And immunotherapy is already becoming the
more
mainstream. It's going to be the next big thing in cancer treatment. Okay.
I really like Doc, what you do for all our viewers in this program, because we always think when we go for cutting edge treatments, there's nothing more that we can do than just go for the treatment. So today we are actually going to discuss, Doc's going to help us understand one type of immunotherapy and what diet you can take to make your immunotherapy more or less effective. I think that's so exciting that you can actually do something the way you eat that will make your very expensive, because immunotherapy is very expensive.
Right.
You make your immunotherapy more or less effective. So Doc, this is so exciting. Let's jump into it. What immunotherapy are you going to share with us today?
Okay, so the type of immunotherapy that I'm going to share with you today is what we call as an immune checkpoint inhibitor therapy. Okay, now what is this immune checkpoint inhibitor? So a lot of us are bleeding our nose already. Okay, so cancer cells evade the immune system, right? So they dodge the immune system. The immune system doesn't recognize the cancer cells. Okay, so how does this concept come about? Okay, so it's because tumor cells express PD-L1. So PD-L1 is like a mask. Okay. So when the immune system, your T cells, detect these masks, okay, it ignores the tumor. So it's like, okay, I see this mask. I know this guy. I won't attack this guy because this is a friend.
This is a friend.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah. So this therapy, or the immune checkpoint inhibitor therapy, actually gives the T cells or your immune system a tool in order for the T cells to see past the mask.
Wow. Okay.
So this is how it does it. Okay.
Doc, can I'm going to give a different example from what Doc used mask. I'm going to use a security pass. All right. So what happens is that cancer cells produce this thing called a PD-L1 security pass. So every time they show the pass, the police will say, "Okay, you're safe. You can pass." So what we're gonna do in the ICI immunotherapy is that they will invalidate or cancel this pass that the cancer cell has, so that when the cancer cell shows the pass, it goes, no, your pass doesn't work. The police will still go after the cancer cell. Can we explain it this way also?
Yes, it's exactly the thing.
All right, okay,
exactly
that's
how
great.
It works, okay? So this is just to show you on its main mechanism. In the picture, its main mechanism on how it works actually inside the body. So when the tumor cells, when the T cells go to the tumor cells, okay,
they need to bind.
They need to bind first.
Oh, that means they need to connect with the cancer cell.
They need to connect with the cancer cells.
So as they come close, the cancer cell takes out their security pass.
Yeah.
I'm one of you. All right.
Okay, T cells will now ignore. Now, when you are now equipped with this,
the ICI therapy, you can see in the picture that we have on the screen, what happens? You block the security pass, invalidate, and then what happens? The T cell connects with your cancer tumor, attacking your cancer tumor. Wow, that's very easy to understand. All right, very easy to understand. So that's how ICI immunotherapy works.
Yes.
Okay.
And actually, this type of treatment strategy actually works wonders.
Oh, it's a very effective type of
immunotherapy. Yes. If some of you are really well read about the new things in cancer treatments, there is this thing recently, dostarlimab.
Okay.
So dostarlimab is a type of immune checkpoint inhibitor drug, no? So they use this dostarlimab to treat advanced unresectable and metastatic colorectal cancer patients.
Wow, that's really
and
very
all
terrible,
the
very
patients,
difficult.
Yeah, very difficult. All the patients got well.
Oh, 100%.
100%
Oh, that is
remission.
good news, right? That
Okay.
is good news.
This is how effective it is.
Doc, there are things that we can do that will affect the effectiveness of such treatments. So even if a drug is 100% effective, you could do things that will slow it down. You could do things that will make it more effective and see results even faster. So help us understand what are the factors that will affect ICI therapy.
Okay, so here is one of the factors that can mitigate its effectiveness. Okay, so one main cause of poor response is the absence of T cells or effective T cells.
Okay, so basically
T cells.
you cancel their security pass, but your soldier is weak.
It's weak. Yes.
All right, so now the security pass of the cancer doesn't work anymore, but the cancer is like, come. Even if the policeman punches him, it's not knocking out the cancer cell.
Yeah.
So what is causing the policeman or the T cells to be so weak?
Okay, so sometimes PD-1 blockade or ICA therapy can make the T cells weak. It's a double-edged sword. So sometimes this happens, sometimes it don't. No, so when the time that it makes your immune system weak, okay, this is what happens to the T cells. Okay, so I have to explain the following concept to you so that you understand on how we can mitigate this. Okay, because of course if it works, then well and good. But what if it doesn't? So this is what happens. This is what happens.
This is what happens when you go for ICI treatment
Yeah.
and you are not getting the result that you're supposed to get. All right, and what's the cause? This is the cause.
Okay, so first let us establish, T cells, in order for them to be able to kill the tumor cells, they have to be activated. Okay, so how do they get activated? We'll discuss in the following webinars. Okay, so let's just
Simplify it.
Simplify it. Okay, when the T cells become activated, they shift their metabolism to glycolysis.
Okay.
Okay, so also, to avoid dying,
Okay.
so avoid the T cells from dying, they express PD-1, okay, and shift their metabolism to fatty acid oxidation. So in order for them to live longer, they shift their metabolism to fatty acid oxidation. Okay, so remember that. Okay, take note of that. So when T cells gets on fatty acid oxidation and lives longer, sometimes they sacrifice their ability to kill the cancer cells. Okay? So by using immune checkpoint inhibitors, by blocking PD-1, you will now reactivate the T cells. Okay, so that it becomes toxic to the tumor cells again. However, the downside of this is the T cells will now die faster. Okay? Now, when this happens, they shift their metabolism to glycolysis again.
Yeah.
Okay?
And what happens then is, because the T cells are dying faster, even though they are more effective, the result of your ICI treatment is it's not the standard expectation.
Yes.
Because there's a complication. Doc, can I try to explain that scientific thing that you explained? Okay,
sure.
let's go. Here we go. So imagine your T cells is like it's a quiet soldier, right? So, but the moment for it to be activated, it goes crazy, it goes berserk, it goes right? But when it goes they go into this process called glycosis. So it's burning a lot of energy, but it's very active, okay, and it's very effective to kill cancer cells. However, if you do this, the T cell will die because it will until it's dead, right? Until it burns out all its energy. So when they can't find anything to fight, they want to preserve themselves so that they can be there longer to watch out for enemies. So they shift to this thing called, where they go into fatty acid oxidation. So they calm down. Okay, because they calm down, they live longer. But because they are calm, they're not very good fighters. So here's the dilemma, right? You either be very good at fighting or you are very calm, you live longer, but you're not very effective at killing the cancer cell. So what the ICI treatment does is that it actually blocks the PD-1 and it actually reactivates it. Makes your calm soldiers go crazy again. But the other downside to it is the moment they go crazy, they also start dying because they expend all the energy.
Yeah,
so it's
correct.
a double-edged sword. On one side it's good, on the other side it's not so good.
Yes.
So perhaps that's one reason why your ICI treatment is
Sometimes
mixed
it doesn't
signals.
work. Yeah, mixed signals. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So it's because of this balance that it's hard to find the right balance. So instead, so the solution is, can we make the T cells go
Yeah.
and yet still live longer?
Yes. So how do we get the best of both worlds?
Yes.
This treatment that they did is PPAR agonist treatment.
Okay,
So-
it's not our Simply Nature PPARs, but it's the same mode of action. It's an
Same
actual
mode of
drug,
action,
right?
Yes. So bezafibrate is actually a PPAR agonist.
All right.
So bezafibrate treatment enhance the fatty acid oxidation. Okay. So now you get very
You got
yeah.
the T cells.
but they live longer.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now they are able to kill more cancer cells.
So now they are like
Okay.
samurai T cells. You know, they are crazy with their sword, but they are calm like a samurai, so they live longer. Okay.
Okay. And the good thing is, Simply Nature PPARs also activates. It's also a PPAR agonist, so it activates the same pathway.
So here it is, right? So we talked about that you're going for very expensive ICI immunotherapy treatment. To make it more effective, you will be on the bezafibrate treatment together. Now, imagine you're eating, your dietary intake, right? You are taking PPAR tablets. You are going to increase the effect similar to the bezafibrate treatment. So you're going to, in addition to the drug to support ICI immunotherapy, your PPAR tablets is also doing the same thing. Your PPAR extracts is going to do it even more powerfully than the tablets. So there you go, Doc. Thank you. Even with advanced cancer treatment, cutting edge, there is still something you can do in your eating, in your lifestyle, in your supplements that can support your advanced, expensive treatments. Doc, that is so encouraging. However, what about other diets that people take? Apart from PPAR agonists, PPAR tablets, PPAR protocols, what about the other tools like keto diet, high protein, high fiber? How does this affect immunotherapy?
Yeah, okay. So the different dietary patterns, okay, you can also use these 3 dietary patterns, namely ketogenic diet, a protein restricted diet, and a high fiber diet. However, of course, we know that there are benefits, with each of these dietary patterns on the effect of ICI therapy. However, of course, we have to realize that there are downsides
To each.
to each. Okay. So first, let's talk
start
about
at keto.
ketogenic.
So keto is something
diet.
everybody's
Okay.
excited about for weight loss.
Yes.
And we told everybody, don't go on a long-term keto diet because keto diet is a therapeutic diet.
Yes.
It is not a living
Living
diet. All right.
Okay.
So
Correct. Okay.
as a therapeutic diet, what does it do for ICI treatment?
So if you go on a ICI therapy and a ketogenic diet at the same time, you actually increase your T cell killing capability. Okay. Now, this will also help you overcome the immune escape mechanisms. And there is a specific bacteria inside your gut that can ameliorate therapeutic response.
What does the word ameliorate mean?
It can help the therapeutic response to ICI. It can make it more effective.
Okay, ameliorate means to enhance.
Yes, it's to enhance.
All right.
Okay? So, take note of this specific bacteria. Okay? So, don't forget this. Alright?
Akkermansia.
Mucinifila.
Wow. Okay, the word's flashing on your screen right now.
And lastly, one benefit of the ketogenic diet is it can also re-establish the therapeutic response in conditions under which ICI therapy alone or combination therapy fail to reduce the tumors, fail to reduce tumor growth.
So basically, if the drug is not working, going on a keto diet might make the drug work again.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think that's one of the things about cancer. Sometimes you take a therapy, it's working very well, then suddenly it's not working. So trying a keto diet could be one way you like jumpstart the whole
Jumpstart it.
process again. No guarantees though,
Yeah. No guarantees though, because
but it could be an option
it
you
can
can
be an
explore, and
Yes.
it works sometimes.
however, a ketogenic diet will only work this way if you are on immune checkpoint inhibitor therapy.
Okay, so don't do it if you are on other different types of immunotherapy. This is not a go-ahead signal to say, yeah, I'm going on a keto diet. So still be very careful.
Yeah.
Again, I'll advise you to go for a consult with a lifestyle doctor who knows what they're doing, right? So that he prescribe this to you correctly.
Okay, because
Why? Because it's downsides.
there are downsides to a ketogenic diet, namely these factors. Okay, so take a look at them. These factors you would not want.
Wow,
to
it
happen to
does
you.
the reverse.
Okay.
It increases your cancer progression. That means your cancer grows even more aggressively. That's the last thing you want to do.
Okay, so next is, let's go on the opposite side.
Mm.
A ketogenic diet is high
High
protein,
protein, high fat.
diet. Okay,
So let's go the
Now,
other side, low
let's go
protein.
the other. Let's try to restrict the protein. Okay,
Mm.
now why did this concept of a protein restricted diet come up?
Mm.
Okay, because long-term studies show that a high protein diet is linked to tumor progression and overall mortality. So you'll die early. You'll increase your chances of dying, and then you'll increase your chances of making your cancer worse.
Wow.
Okay, with a high protein diet. Now they did the opposite. So a dietary protein restriction was associated with lower tumor incidence, lower mortality risk, and inhibited tumor growth. Okay, and here's another interesting fact. No, inhibition of this enzyme, arginase or arginine synthesis, suppressed the proliferation of tumor cells, and inhibited certain T cells in the immune system which suppress other T cells.
Mm.
Okay, and surprisingly, resveratrol is one of the arginase inhibitor. Resveratrol is
It's found in
where?
Pipa Plus tablets.
Yes.
And
Pipa
not
Plus
only
tablets.
that, it's not only resveratrol, it's the full spectrum of grape skin polyphenols, of which
Yes.
resveratrol is only one.
Yeah.
So I would like to say, here the research says resveratrol is agonist inhibitor. It's always good, which is why we are not a drug, we are the support, right? If you want to think about it this way, that's why Doc Jansen always promotes, let's take the whole food, so that we come together with everything that comes together naturally with the resveratrol, you take it too, so that it will work better, more comprehensively in your life.
Now, if you are thinking, okay, why don't I go on a protein restricted diet? However, how do I do it?
Yeah.
Okay? So this might be a more simple approach that you can do. What if it's a high fiber diet?
Yeah, because cancer patients, if they grow thin, right,
Mm.
they need, their doctors always encourage them to go on the protein supplements. So it's like a contradiction if you go on a low protein diet and then your doctor telling you to put on some weight.
Right.
So a better solution apart from keto so it's high protein, high fat, keto, low protein. There's something else, the third option.
Yes, a third option would be a high fiber diet. So a high fiber diet is the diet that I always advocate for. So it's a whole food plant-based diet. So why? It's because a high fiber diet lowers the risk of developing cancer in the first place. No?
Mm.
So something that can prevent cancer is also something that you can use to kill cancer.
Yes,
Okay.
or at least to manage it,
Yeah, at
to
least to
slow
manage
it down.
So why is it so? It's because fiber can physically dilute the carcinogens in a large amount of stool.
Wow.
Fiber is fermented by your gut microbiome to form short chain fatty acids like butyrate. Now, butyrate can enhance the generation of antigen presenting cells like dendritic cells.
Oh wow.
Okay.
Okay.
It can enhance your T cell memory function. So when your T cells recognize the tumor,
They will remember it again.
They will remember. They can recognize it again. They will be able
Wow,
to.
that is very helpful. That is why you have booster shots for your
Yes.
COVID-19 vaccine.
Yes.
So because your COVID-19 vaccine is losing memory.
Yeah.
So if you take fiber, you will cause your T cells, which again is your soldier cells. It's like a booster shot, right? It keeps their memory fresh.
Now,
Alright?
here's an evidence, okay? Melanoma patients, stage 4 melanoma patients with a high fiber diet were 5 times more likely to respond to immune checkpoint inhibitor therapy compared to those on a low fiber diet.
5 times.
5 times.
And if your cancer responds to ICI therapy, ICI therapy is very effective. So you don't want to be the group of people who does not respond to ICI therapy. So you increase your chances of ICI working for you by as high as 5 times simply by having more fiber in your diet.
Correct.
So who says what you eat doesn't affect the medication that you take? It obviously does, right?
It obviously does. Now,
Yeah.
remember a while ago, I made you wrote down the specific bacteria that is increased when you go on a ketogenic diet. Okay, the same bacteria is actually elevated or it's actually proliferated by a high fiber diet. So Akkermansia is a very well studied. It's actually a lot of researchers are studying this bacteria to to be a supplement or to be an adjunct treatment for those who are undergoing immune checkpoint inhibitor therapy.
Wow, I've got to talk to our AD Pro specialist, and perhaps we can come up with a natural supplement from this.
Okay. Actually, there are a lot of bacteria, who proliferate with a high fiber diet because a high fiber diet is actually prebiotics. Okay?
Because fiber feeds your probiotics. It feeds a good bacteria.
Okay, so here's the question that I will ask you. Would it be better to just supplement with probiotics or go on a high fiber diet?
That's an interesting question. But we're not going to answer it today. All right, we're going to leave that with you because right now I see your questions popping up on our screens. So tune in as we go to the second part of ICI treatment next week. Today, let's go straight into our Ask Me Anything segment and answer your questions.